Oh man. Truth is that I have known for a very, very long time that he was behind a lot of the sabotage and attempts to take me out. And I know that after that, a medical appointment, that the surveillance got very close, as in like buying the pigeon house across the street from where I was living and setting it up there. And at the hot springs, especially like when, like on Halloween, when I went out and had a date that night, the drone was super close. There's a little bit of jealousy there, as well as when I would hang out with my friend, with my platonic friend. And what was the other time? Oh, when I went and hung out at the, what was that place called where they had private parties and they'd have like electronic music all night. I can't think of what the place is on. I think it's on Ryman in Missoula. That night the drone was super close and honed in. So I knew that he was jealous, and honestly, like I've said in other videos, whether they post it or not, I personally felt safe and not so alone when I would see the drone and know he was nearby. I've always known, like I could tell, like I feel his energy, I know it, and so I knew it when it was in my vicinity and listening to me and watching me. But I was actually pretty surprised when the other marriage went down. Especially since we were marrying each other so closely. That was disappointing. I always thought at the hot springs, like I had just imagined him coming up and just walking up one day and I would kiss his face hard like I always wanted to and still do. So yeah, I was pretty surprised, really disappointed when the other marriage went down. I didn't really like creep on his stuff all that much. I saw that on his, wiki or whatever, that personal profile page of well-known people or whatever that's called, with the marriage status being like to be updated soon, and I knew that it was being juggled in the mix as the preferred choice, but not as the one that was allowed. I know that messages have been being blocked for a really long time, since after I figured out who he was and that he was there set up in my space. And from the time I opened that Facebook page specifically to invite him to the Modest Mouse concert, just to see, which I'm pretty certain was ex-wifey there, with some other like short young dude in the VIP line looking at me. It was short notice, I know. I don't even know if that's your actual real birthday. Then I let it go, but I couldn't. And yeah, I guess the messages are so on point, but in that reading I just had done, the King of Swords did show up in the upright, and there are like legal things to overcome. But honestly, I felt stressed out on snowy, cloudy nights when I couldn't see him up there watching me. And I know that some work has been stolen. I did another video, I didn't upload it, basically like really seeing him on my end as far as the female it's not a counterpart. The female one that got in the way, not released. I feel like the females involved, the sister, the mother, and the one he married, that all of that was actually sabotage. And is it Ezekiel 18 that I posted with that? All the things she said. Song coming up, especially the Leo cover. I know that even just initially meeting me that night at the Finland changed things. Whether the pastiki came out of me talking about my dad putting malt jugs around a piece of plywood and putting us out onto a pond in Colstrip in the early 80s, you know, if not, it's a severe coincidence. And but like, my dad didn't do anything with that. I mean, I'm happy for your success concerning that, because yeah, I mean, that's pretty ballin' and a really cool project. And like I said, my dad didn't do anything with it, so. And you know, he changed it a hell of a lot more than 10%, so I was like totally illegal. As far as all the sabotages of my businesses and me going forward, that is not anything that I deserved. Part of the programs and the testing, I guess, doesn't make it right. It just is what it is. So yeah, the King of Swords actually was in the upright, along with the Queen of Swords coming out in that reading, at a very significant place, you know, where we spent a night together before, and so that was kind of a big deal. What was the other thing? Oh, so the Hermit actually ended up being in the reverse of my read, and I believe that like alludes to an investigation being wrapped up. Also, there's all that Virgo energy, and the fact that the story's out and the cat's out of the bag, and back to Ezekiel 18, it's like the past is what it is. It can't be changed.
You need all 15,000 toothbrushes you have.
Yes, I need all kinds of toothbrushes. I love to brush my teeth.
Well, I'm moving them from...
obsessed with that.
I'm moving them from the windowsill, so where would you rather they be?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna throw one away because it's well used.
Do you want me to put them into a bag or something I can put them in?
You could put them up on the shelf by like my other bath stuff, and then I'll just go through them. The book you wrote. I'm glad that I inspired you, and yeah, I should have been part of all of that, but I was left behind. And what are we talking about? Back to Ezekiel 18. The thing is, can't change the past, and all we can do is own up to things and right our wrongs. Like I said in that other video, actually like making up for it definitely would help things. I've missed a couple of huge opportunities lately. Maybe they weren't right. Doesn't matter. I am going to shine and be seen at some point, and my talents are going to be used regardless. So, you know, it's where that whole Beauty and the Beast thing comes in, even though I know that he was part of trying to have me taken out. I don't know, I still love him just because of who he is, and I do believe people can change, especially if they choose to do the right thing. And energy doesn't lie. That's why I know that the energy is pure, and because I felt it, and I've seen the soul through the eyes. I get you and understand you quite a bit. Things didn't have to be public, and stuff didn't have to go this crazy, but it did, and it is, and so really all that's left to do is to fix the thing. I'm not gonna let anyone steal my work anymore, or my intellectual property anymore, and bank off of it while I am left for dead and have to fight for my life on the daily. To me, the house is important just because it basically like represents stability, so that I can actually like use my talents and for the right reasons, not for like greed and materialism, but for a better tomorrow for everyone. My transportation idea isn't about like banking and making money off of one particular idea or resource. It's about what's practical and efficient, it makes sense, and would be a very versatile and reasonable way to travel, and even a better way to reside and live. And it actually is something that would save lives and prevent accidents rather than having more accidents. The fact that stuff is still being blocked, if it is for the purpose of like something being able to come together and manifest, that's understandable. If it is just simply to sabotage me and cover up truths, that is ridiculous and vile and corrupt and manipulative. I can only imagine what you've been through in life, and I understand that it has shaped you into who you are. I get it, and I feel like I've actually been equipped to be able to handle the situation through all I've been through in life. But I do believe that his heart is pure. The karmic wifey, not. The ex-wifey, not. Mother and sister, probably not. But it is time for this girl to learn the truth. At this point, it's unavoidable. But yeah, you doing the right thing, back to Ezekiel 18, can save your life, could mean your healing. I can heal you. Same thing for my father that I've known to be my father throughout my lifetime. Same thing there. I don't even have to like say that I wish no one harm. But I don't know, sometimes some things work out and sometimes they don't, and I had to go through my own like dark night of the soul and losing relationships and taking responsibility for why I lost those myself, so that I could be in the place that I am now to be able to be ready for a partnership, a collaboration. That's all I want, is business collaboration with a friend that I can tolerate being around, and someone that I really dig their personality. It's hard for me to fall for someone, but like the way someone talks, their intelligent level, and their manner of speaking, something I get way hot for, even more so over, I don't know, appearances and position and this, that, and the other thing. I think you're the same, because we're very similar, and fuck if I know. I do know that I was the right choice initially, and I do know that making the right choice at that point a little over a year ago would have saved a whole lot of trouble and probably be facing a whole lot less. But a lot of it, where it matters, is really intent and heart, and I never wish to be degrading at all. Life is messy, especially when it comes to certain levels of, I don't know, exposure, being known, family stuff. I'm tired, I want to go to bed. I just feel like some things need to be said, even though they'll be blocked. But the blocking has been ridiculous and unreasonable, and I feel like had the blocking not been there from the karmic female parties, that things may have actually gone a little bit differently. And I feel like that is part of what would pardon him a little bit more, because it did manipulate the decision quite a bit. And I remember even seeing on Instagram families saying that he was basically under a spell. Definitely not himself when that decision was made. So yeah, I would like to talk, but obviously it's only going to be able to happen in person because of all of the extreme hacking and thwarting and all that junk, which is federal crimes. And I know that he is not the one behind those. So that's a really big thing. Also, I don't believe that he is behind some of the underground, secret, nefarious junk. That is really the big matter that needs to be addressed concerning all of this. Yeah. Alright, I'm shutting this video down for now. I feel like I've said a lot, and probably too much. But if they want to shut me down and make me be quiet, my situation has to be fixed, and